All right, we are going to start reviewing for your test, Mastery Test 5 that you have coming up here shortly. And what we're going to start with here is part 1 of your test. This is what's going to be on part 1 of your test. And we need to write the base and the exponent for each one of these fractions. Okay? So now if you remember, this 9 on top is going to cancel out a 9 on the bottom. This 9 is going to cancel out a 9 on the bottom. And this 9 is going to cancel out a 9 on the bottom. So what we have left is we have one 9 left on top, which is 9 to the first. And anything to the first power is just itself. So 9 to the first is just 9. Now if I look at B, same thing. This 5 on top cancels out 5 on the bottom. This one cancels out this one, so on and so forth here. Now what you see here is we have one 5 left in the bottom. That would be 5 to the first in the bottom. Now again on top, I can't just leave nothing there. That's really a 1 up there. Because really when we cancel these out, it was 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is just 1. And again, 1 over 5 to the first. 5 to the first is just 5, so it's 1 over 5. Now for letter C, we'll cancel out these 7s again. So these cancel, cancel, cancel. Now what you notice here is I have nothing left. So that's 7 to the 0. There are no 7s left. And anything to the power of 0, remember, is 1. Okay, because whenever we have the same on top as we do on the bottom, that is worth 1. What you should do now is go ahead and pause the video and work on D, E, F, G, and H on your own. Once you are done with those, you can continue and start reviewing for part 2 of your test. All right, now we're going to look at part 2 of your test. Part 2 is completing the multiplication function tables. So if I look at table 1 here, I'm going to look at row A to get my fraction that I need to multiply by each time. So again, looking at the top equation here, it's x times y over x equals y. So in my fraction, I'm going to take my y value, which is 3, put that on top of my x value, which is 4, and put that on the bottom. So now I know I need to multiply by 3/4 every time. So I'm going to put that in every one here. I know that has to go in every one. Now the next thing I need to do is solve for my missing x and my missing y. Now B, I'm just going to bring that down here quick. That's really x times 3/4 equals 21. Now to solve this for x, I would need to multiply by the reciprocal. When I do that, over here on the left side, my 4's and my 3's cancel each other out. I'm just left with the x. And when I do 21 times 4/3, that equals 28. So for this one, x is 28. Now for C, the 20 times 3/4, they're on the same side, so I just go ahead and multiply those, and 20 times 3/4 gives me 15. So I fill the 15 in there. What you should do right now is pause the video again and work on table 2 and table 3. When you complete those, go ahead and start the video again and start reviewing for part 3 of your test. All right, part 3 of our test here, again, more with exponents. So we are going to copy and complete each one of these. Looking at the top one, for letter A here, I have my first set of parentheses, I have 4 times 4 times 4. Well, that's 4 to the 3rd. And the next one is set of parentheses is 4 times 4, which is going to be 4 to the 2nd. And then my next set is also 4 times 4, which is also 4 to the 2nd. So I can go ahead and fill these in the boxes. I'm just going to write them below so that we can see them. But it's going to be 4 to the 3rd times 4 to the 2nd times 4 to the second. Okay, so altogether here, that's going to be 4 to something. There's two ways we could figure that out. We could count all the 4s in the original one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we know it's going to be 4 to the 7th. The other way we can get that is to add the exponents of the 3 that we came up with. So 3 plus 2 plus 2 is also 7, and we get 4 to the 7th. Okay, moving on to B. Our first set of parentheses is just 1 4, so that's 4 to the first. Our next set of parentheses is 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, 4 to the fourth. And our last set, 4 times 4, is 4 to the second. So I put these in the boxes again. So 4 to the first, 4 to the fourth, and 4 to the second. Now to get what that equals all together, I am just going to add up my exponents. So 1 plus 4 plus 2, that is 7 again. So it's 4 to the 7th is going to equal 4 to the first times 4 to the fourth times 4 to the second. What you should do now again is pause the video and work on C through G. Once you have completed C through G, you can start the video again and continue reviewing for the test for part 4. All right, part 4 of your test has to do with multiplying signed numbers. Okay. Remember, when we multiply numbers, if the signs are the same, our answer is positive. If we multiply two numbers and the signs are different, our answer will be negative. So for letter A, I've got positive 2 times negative 34. Well, a positive times a negative is going to be a negative. The signs are different. My answer is going to be negative. And then 2 times 34 is 68. So our answer is negative 68. Okay, when I look at B, I got negative 20 times negative 8. They are both negative. The signs are the same. So I know my answer is going to be positive. And then I look at 20 times 8, which is 160. So my answer is going to be positive 160. Now the positive symbol, again, remember, is optional. We don't need to write the positive symbol in front of a positive number, but you can if you would like. What you should do now, again, is pause the video and work on C through H. Once you have those completed again, continue the video so that you can continue reviewing your test for part 5. All right, part 5 of your test is solving some equations. These are some one-step problems here. So I'm just going to rewrite problem A down here. 4 equals B minus 3/5. Now again, remember, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So if it helps you to draw that line down the equal sign, go ahead and do that. Remember, I'm trying to get all the numbers on one side and all my terms with letters on the other. So this B here, I want that letter by itself, so I'm going to add the 3/5 to both sides. And that is going to leave me with just the B on the right. And on the left side, 4 plus 3/5 is just 4 and 3/5. And I'm done with that one. Okay, the next one we're going to look at here is actually letter C. We've got R times 1/2 equals 7. Okay, remember the parentheses mean to multiply, and the way to undo multiplying by a fraction is to multiply by its reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/2 would be 2 over 1, which is just 2. So we're going to multiply by 2 on both sides. And when I do that again, my 2's cancel out. I'm left with R equals 14. So we are done with that. Again, pause the video at this point and work on B, D, and E. Once you are done with those, go ahead and resume the video to continue working on part 5. Okay, continuing with part 5 here, solving some different types of equations now. We are going to look at problem B here on part 5, and then you can go back and do A and C. But again, with these equations, what you need to do, again, find the equal sign, draw that line down there so you keep the left side separate from the right. Now on the left side, I'm just going to work my way from left to right. So what I notice here is I have some like terms to combine. I've got a 3j minus a half j. My problem is that the 3 is not a fraction and the half is. So the first thing I need to do is make my 3 a fraction. Now if I'm going to combine them, I need to have my denominators, my bottom numbers, be the same. So I know this 3 is going to have to be a fraction with a 2 on the bottom. And now to get the top number for that fraction, I just take that 2 times the 3. 2 times 3 gives me 6. So my 3j has become 6 halves j. And if you figure that out, 6 over 2 is the same as 3. So we didn't change the value of it at all. We just wrote it as a fraction. I'm just going to rewrite the rest of my equation here. Now I can go ahead and combine my like terms. So 6 halves j minus 1 half j. 6 minus 1 is 5, so I have 5 halves j. And then I can also combine the 11 and the 10. 11 minus 10 is positive 1, so 5 halves j plus 1 equals 21. Now I just have 2 steps to solve. Again, remember, I'm trying to get all the numbers on one side and all the terms with letters on the other. So I want to get this positive 1, I want to subtract that from both sides. That leaves me with 5 halves j. 21 minus 1 is 20. And all I have left to do here to solve for j is multiply by the reciprocal. Again, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So on the left side, my 2's and 5's cancel each other out. I'm left with j equals, and 20 times 2/5 is 8. So j equals 8. Again, pause the video here and work on letters A and C. Once you have those completed, you can go ahead and resume the video and start reviewing for part 6 of the test.